Hey, this is significantly more personal, so hope you're having a good night. I am getting ready to do some good writing, knocked out a couple short chapters already, and just saying hello.
What is enlightenment? Is enlightenment something that only the great spiritual masters of the past can achieve? Is it something that you can only get if you're on top of a mountain and you renounce the material world? No. I've experienced bits of what people describe as a sense of the infinite, a sense of love and overwhelming compassion for all things. Pretty much textbook enlightenment a number of times, and I know people who have. I've studied the neuroscience of enlightenment. I've studied the biopsychology of enlightenment. I am studying and quantifying enlightenment in terms of how it is described and experienced in various spiritual paths and mystical traditions. I'm working to find the difference between fact and fiction. I'm looking at MRI studies. I'm looking at subjective reports, and I'm going on the road myself. After more than 10 years as an entrepreneur, with a lifelong, almost 20-year-long passion of researching, studying different aspects of psychology, positive psychology, personality psych, organizational psych, of living in Silicon Valley and meeting people who are incredibly deeply authentic and incredibly freaking successful. I realized that my current path and purpose and mission in life is to bring a type of accessible 21st century enlightenment to the world. And that is a type of enlightenment that does not necessarily need to be tied to any type of religious or spiritual tradition. That is a type of enlightenment that is accessible to people, whether they are a staunch atheist or they believe in some form of the divine with some name or multiple names, whatever that may be for them. I believe that this experience that we're having, this human experience, can be richer, can be deeper, can be more powerful. And I believe that the best we have ever felt in our life is something we can tap into that is not situational, that is not based on these bodies, that is not just based on neurotransmitters and the chemicals and hardware that we have up here. Those are how we feel those things, but if you think about who you are, you know you are not your body, you know you are not your emotions, those are fleeting. And spirituality, as I'm studying it, is about being, is about experience. It has nothing to do with any old chunk of text or tradition, even though a lot of those are valuable and I'll be studying those. So what am I making? What products am I making? How am I helping people? What is the value of you backing me besides pursuing enlightenment and sharing it? How am I going to share it? Well, I definitely plan to write books. I definitely plan to write blog posts. I definitely plan to write poems. I definitely plan to create videos. I definitely intend to build software. There's a group called Consciousness Hacking out here in Silicon Valley, and it's pretty extraordinary, studying how the brain works, how breathing affects the brain, how our subjective experience can be measured and analyzed and quantified with technology, how the parts of us that are deeply human can be more deeply understood, how we can find the parts of us that we hold in common, and how we can tweak those. One of the things that fascinates me most is how through our direct experience we can get things richer than from anything outside of us. And what do I mean by that? I mean, a lot of people turn to drugs, a lot of people turn to partners, a lot of people turn to vices, sex, food, whatever, and all those things are great, but they also have their place, and there's also a lot of caution for some of them, especially the drug thing, especially if you don't know what you're doing. You'll cut that part of the video out. Anyway, um, I want to understand this thing that is enlightenment more deeply. I want to master it. I want to help it be accessible. I want to help it be customizable. I want to help people's experiences be richer and more full. And if you just look at the description, there's a lot of things I'm creating and happy to give away, including my time, sharing of my experience. So on these roads to enlightenment, studying with saints around the world, studying with masters and shamans locally, I think that I know, I know that I found something special. I know that what I found goes beyond explanation, that is purely rational. And so I'm looking to change that. I'm looking to make it rational. I'm looking to quantify, analyze, and understand spirituality so we can reclaim it. So all the damage dealt to that word, dealt to being and feeling, all the damage dealt by people seeking power, by certain organized religions in certain people's lives, all the damage done by stereotypes, all the damage done by people who were not grounded and they were like, oh, I'm in spiritual la la land, discrediting the idea of what it means to be spiritual. I think this is something we crave. I think this is something we want. I think we want to understand this. And so I'm here to help. And I'm here to learn it. I'm here to push myself. I feel like my life is part of the spiritual Olympics. Every day I meditate for an hour and a half. I was saying an hour, I'm like, wait, I do it longer. I stand in Qigong for an hour and I'm just building and connecting with my Qi and honing and focusing my mind. If that is something that will have other benefits aside from my own thriving and ability to maintain focus and will, it's as neurotechnology, computation that we control with our minds with headsets instead of typing or speaking or gestures, as that is becoming more and more popular around the country and the world, and especially out here in Silicon Valley with the Neuro Gaming Conference coming up. I'm so excited. It's important to do, but I'm studying with so many people. I've learned so much stuff, and I want to share that with you guys. So this video is already way too long. I hope it was a nice introduction. I hope it did it justice. I hope it gave you a sense of me and who I am. And I just want you to know that this is my mission. This is my purpose. This is my destiny. And I'm grateful to be sharing it with you.